Hey everybody, welcome along to another episode of Production's a bit steep of a suggestion considering the amount of editing that goes into this. Today we're looking at precedence tables and creating networks from precedence tables. So let's dive straight into it. So precedence tables give us a list of activities that need to be done to achieve a project. And it also tells us what has to be done before something else. So to start with, anything that doesn't have a predecessor is going to be a start point. So that will run from the start. So that would be something like A there. And A precedes B, so B can't run from the start, for instance. Then anything that isn't the immediate predecessor for something else is the finish. All right. So for instance, in this example, I is these are, sorry, it says depends on here. I like to call them immediate predecessors. In my other example, immediate predecessor. So an immediate predecessor just means that it has to be done before something else. For instance, you can't put the roof on a house before the walls are up. So putting the walls up would be an immediate predecessor to putting the roof on, something like that in a basic means. So I is not the immediate predecessor, or it's not listed in this side here. So it must be the finish of the project. So to finish I, you would then have finished the project. Okay, and then we'll construct the rest of it around that. So to start with, we've got our B edge that way. B edge, what am I saying? Our A edge. A. And then A is the immediate predecessor for two other activities. Okay, so off of A, I'm going to bring off B and also C. Okay. B is the immediate predecessor for three activities. So from that, I'm going to bring off, let's see, I'm actually going to bring off, so B precedes D, and we've got A precedes B. We've got a double up here, which I'm going to look at now. So D precedes this double up, but also C precedes the double up. All right, so if C precedes G and D also precedes G, then D must run down here to meet C, so that's activity D, and then G comes off the bottom of that. All right, so that's G. All right, so we've done activity A, B, C, D, and G. Now B precedes E and F, E precedes H, which precedes I, which is a finish activity. Okay, G also precedes I, which is a finish activity, so I must come off G, for instance. Now, I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, but sometimes I find the best way to do it. Just trying to read the table. Doing this with a grey letter and that sort of thing is very handy or suggested. Okay, and then at the end here, I've got my finish. Okay, so I've got G going to there. I've also got B precedes F, and F goes to my I as well. Okay, so you can see that so F must run from B. F must run from B down to I as well. And then B precedes E, so we've done F. Now we've got to look at E. B precedes E, this precedes H, which precedes I. So we go B, E, H, I. So B, E, equals I. And that's everything done. Okay, so it's not a trial and error. Sometimes you can have a problem with needing to switch. You know, they don't always go in a nice alphabetical format and that sort of thing. But that there is an example of a network, and I say an example, a network for this activity sequence. Okay, but you may have isomorphic versions of this, meaning you have the same information but given to you in a different format or a different look. Okay, so same information, different look. But that's neat. I like the look of it. So that's an example of that one. Next one is where we have a thing called dummy activities. Okay, so we have dummy activities. Dummy activity is when an activity precedes two different activities, but combinations of activities that precede those activities are different, so they can't both have the same predecessor, or the predecessors are different for those two activities. And what I mean by this is you can see in here, if I look down at C there, look down at C, or D's activity, C precedes D, but C also has to precede G, and it precedes G with a combination of F as well. Because of that, C can't be a direct line to both of them, so we have to create a dummy activity that shows that C must be done before D, and also that C is done before G. So if we look here, look at A is our start point, as it was up here, the right start there, and G does not precede anything. Okay, so that's our finish. And if we look along up here, D also doesn't precede anything. So those two run into our finish. Right? And we'll use that information to get our graph up and going. Okay. So A, so start A. Now I'm going to hop over here. Actually, I'll leave it just for now. So A runs into B and also E. Okay, so B and A, B, and E comes off it as well. From that, we know that C comes off there. B runs into C, which runs into D, which is the finish. Okay, so we can go C, oops. So B runs into C, and what else we got there? E runs into F, so just doing one vertex at a time. E runs into F, which runs into D, which is our finish as well. Just good to keep an idea of what's running into what connects and what comes back to what. So E to F there, and B to C, which is there. Now C runs into D, which is part of the finish, but C also runs into G. Now, because C solely runs into D, we can have D coming off here. All right, it can come straight off there, and this is our finish here. D's there, and F runs into G, which is also running to our finish. I'm going to run that up there. There's G. Now we need to show that C is a dummy activity also for G. And what that means is here, we run a dotted line, a dummy activity. That shows that it basically joins C also to G. Okay, so that's telling us that this here has to be completed before G can go ahead. Right, and we do that. Oops, got rid of all of my work. And we do that with our there. Okay, so that's our dummy activity. So that's how to add a dummy activity in. There are different, they can look different, and the practice is key here. But I'll leave that example there. So we've done all of that. We've finished there, finished there. So that's how to construct from a precedence table. Like I said, I like having a look at what's at the start, what edges or activities come in at the finish, and identifying what joins as we go through, completing sort of one node at a time. Also reading forward a little bit just to know if they come together in a specific place. I hope that's helpful, gang. It's a big one, not time-wise necessarily, but it's certainly a tough one. Okay, good luck. Got any questions, comments, throw them down below, and hit the like button just to give it some love. Have a good day. See ya.